It's now been 6 months since I stepped away from full time work. And the question that I'm asked most often is, what do you do all day? And that question is usually followed by, aren't you bored? Actually, I have the opposite problem. Welcome back to The Simple Pleasures. I'm Laurie. Have you been contemplating what you would do if your daily schedule suddenly opened up? If you didn't have somewhere to be at a certain time, and if you didn't have a multitude of projects to manage? Well, 6 months ago, when I left full time work, I had a long list of things I needed to tackle and a longer list of things I was curious about, things that I wanted to explore. I can tell you that from January to July, every single day has been different. It's been difficult for me to settle into a routine because I'm giving myself permission to follow my curiosity right now. When I was working full time and actively parenting my children and also caring for my aging parents, there was little or no time in my life to pursue any hobbies or any interests. My executive management responsibilities and caretaking became the whole of my life and my identity. And now that those seasons have passed, I'm now in control of how I want to spend my days. The very first thing I tackled was to launch into Swedish death cleaning in every single area of my home. If you're not familiar with Swedish death cleaning, the idea is to pare down your life's possessions to just what you need in this season of life. It meant touching and evaluating every single item in my home. And it meant parting with things that were sentimental to me, but to no one else in my family. For me, it's the final loving act I can do for my daughters and husband when I'm no longer here. That took 3 months total, and I moved out hundreds of pounds of possessions that were taking up physical space and robbing me of a lot of mental energy. So, for half of the time that I've been retired, I was very busy with that task. If you'd like to know more about Swedish death cleaning, I have a playlist here on my channel breaking it up into manageable tasks. If you are considering retirement, consider this. In the United States, the healthy life expectancy is 63 years old. That means on average, most of us will only be healthy and active until we're 63. After that, on average, we can expect approximately 15 years dealing with disease, injuries, or limited activity until we pass. So for me, I'm embracing this time in my life to be as active as I can be. Every day, I'm devoting time to physical activity. I reestablished my love for yoga and cycling. And these are activities I can do, rain or shine. They can be gentle or they can be challenging. Because I'm not working full time, I can plug them in whenever my schedule allows. And I've really loved the feeling of doing something really important and meaningful for myself. And I've realized I am a caretaker at heart. So even though I've moved through the season where I was actively raising children, I'm now actively and happily helping care for my grandchildren at every available opportunity. I'm able to spend more time loving up our two fur babies, Mario and Fleetwood, and creating and nurturing a bird and butterfly habitat on our property. I've leaned into things that challenge me, like learning to prepare more complex recipes in the kitchen. I'm trying new flavor profiles and more ethnic cooking as I work to take my cooking skills to the next level. I've gone all in on my hobbies. Many of the items I decluttered from our home, I've sold on websites like eBay and Poshmark. I've created online stores on 8 different websites, and nearly every day I wake up to sales that happened overnight. I package those items and I ship them out every morning. And I started this YouTube channel, which means I had to learn photography, editing, audio, lighting, how to make a thumbnail, pacing. It's been a fun journey so far, but both of those hobbies take up about 20, 25 hours of my time every week. So you can see that even in retirement, I still don't have enough time to do all of the activities that my heart desires. But yet I'm finding time to connect to my community in a more meaningful way. I've become more involved civically. Today, I took part in a training session on election protection to make sure voting is as safe and accessible as it should be for all of us in every community. I'm also volunteering every week, preparing a lasagna dinner for local families who are struggling to put a home cooked meal on the table. I am spending more time on things that create beauty and peace in our home. I love spending time gardening and landscaping and home decorating, creating a welcoming and pleasant environment in our home. Every day, I spend at least an hour, maybe two, maintaining the ecosystem that we've created for the birds, the pollinators, and the butterflies. Being in the garden taps into my need to be a caretaker, but I have learned that by doing so, I'm also caring for myself. There are still creatures that need me, that depend on me, and that gives me a deeper purpose in life. And I've spent the past 6 months focusing on things that restore me. I love being out in nature, walking the dogs, reading books, all the things that I used to fantasize about when I was working full time. Now I get to enjoy them every day if I wish. I've been traveling a ton this summer, visiting family members and friends who mean so much to me. My husband is retiring next year, and we have lots of travel plans we want to accomplish while we're still healthy and active. But for this summer, I've been traveling solo, and I've really enjoyed that time of solitude as well. I am more active now than ever before. I get up earlier, I hit the ground running, and my days now are so full that I sort of feel like I need to make some adjustments so that I can lean more into stillness in my life. My brother retired a year before I did, and he told me every day feels like a vacation day. And I couldn't agree more. This week, my husband took the week off of work. He wanted to feel what it feels like to be retired, and we have had the best week. We worked together on some house projects that needed both of us. We had a date night in the middle of the week. We both spent time taking care of the grandkids and doing the things that we both love, together and separate. I'm curious to know, what would you do if you had the time? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're about to enter this season of life, I am so happy for you. It's about having the freedom to be curious again and rebuilding a life that is filled with the things that energize you. I cannot wait to hear about all of your hopes and dreams for this season of life. Thanks for being here, friends. We'll see you in the next one.